The day your habits stop depending on motivation, that is the day your life starts to change for real. Let me tell you why you keep failing to install new habits in your life. The problem is usually not the habit itself. The problem is the moment you are supposed to begin, your trigger. And this applies to almost every kind of habit that you're trying to build. It can be exercise, reading, better food choices, studying, writing, sleeping on time. The specific habit changes, but the reason for failure is always the same. You start with a clear intention. For a few days, you do the thing. You feel proud. You feel different. You believe that this time it might actually work. But then something starts to change. Not in your goals, something changes in your behavior. You stop starting. You must make the beginning of the habit easier because most habits fail before the action actually starts. You decide to eat healthy, you buy the right foods, you avoid the usual temptations, you come home feeling great, and for a few days it works. Then 3 weeks pass, some of that healthy food is still untouched, it's there in your refrigerator, you're tired and busy, you're looking for something quick, something like a tasty snack. And then you don't make a big decision to quit, you just stop trying. The same pattern shows up in many habits. It can be reading, exercise, writing. The habit changes, but the pattern stays the same. And then you tell yourself the same story. I think I just don't have enough discipline. That explanation points you to the wrong direction. The real problem is often simpler. You built the habit in a way that was too hard to begin on ordinary days. So make it easier. Use a clear trigger, a tiny first step, an immediate reward, a visible record of progress until your habit becomes automatic. Your brain always chooses the path that costs less energy. Your brain is built to save effort. Every time you repeat the same action, that action becomes easier for your brain to do again. Think about walking through tall grass. The first time is slow and awkward. But if you walk the same path, the same route every day, a path starts to appear. After enough repetition, that path becomes the easiest way to walk. Your habits work the same way. If every morning you go and check your phone and make coffee and then you sit on the couch, that sequence becomes familiar. Your brain can do it with less effort because it has done it so many times before. But when you create a new routine with many parts, such as waking up early, exercising, then stretching, and showering, then preparing healthy food, and then journaling, your brain reads all of that as a lot to begin at once. And that is why the beginning is usually the hardest part. Once you start, continuing often feels easier. But starting can feel like a lot of work, especially when you're tired, when you're stressed. So the real question is this: how can you make the first step small and simple enough so that your brain will actually begin? You must stop trying to build a habit with a behavior that is too big. Most people fail before the habit even starts because the first step is too big. You decide to read, so then you promise to read 30 pages every night. You decide to exercise, so you have a full gym session. You decide to meditate, so imagine perfect 20 minutes of meditation every single morning. The habit sounds good, but the beginning already feels like a lot of work. Your brain does not think about the long-term benefit. Your brain also reacts to how difficult it feels to begin right now. And when the first step feels too large, resistance appears immediately. So here's a rule. The first step should take 2 minutes or less. If you want to read, read 1 page. If you want to exercise, put on your shoes and do 10 squats. If you want to write, then open the document, write 1 sentence. That small version is not the full goal. That small version is the entry point. And once you begin, continuing becomes much easier. BJ Fogg became known with this idea through his tiny habits method, which we already explained here in episode number 5 of the Arata Academy Summary series at arata.se/Arata Summary 05. Small actions repeated every day work much better than big plans that collapse after a few days. First, make the habit easy to begin, then make it grow. You must attach the new habit to a trigger that already exists. A habit does not start because you're feeling motivated. A habit starts because something specific tells your brain that now is the moment to begin. And that signal is called a trigger. For example, you unlock your phone and then you open social media without even thinking. Or you finish dinner, you walk into the kitchen and then you start looking for something sweet. Your brain learns those sequences very, very quickly. So, if you want a new habit to happen more automatically, the starting moment, the trigger, must be very clear. In the morning is too vague. After work is too vague. A real trigger is precise. After I turn off my alarm, then I do 10 squats. After I pour my coffee, I read 1 page. After I brush my teeth, I write 1 sentence. That is habit stacking. You connect the new action to something that you already do every single day. The environment also matters. If the book is already on the table, reading that book is much easier. If the healthy food is prepared, well, eating well is easier. You can change the environment to change the results. For example, if you stop taking your phone to the toilet, now you remove the incentive to be sitting there scrolling for too long. Change the environment and then you change what you want to happen. You must give your present self a small reward because your future self cannot carry that habit alone. When you think about building a habit, your mind goes straight to the future reward. You imagine a stronger body, a better health, more knowledge, a more calm mind, but the part of you that must act is right now, not your future self. It's you right now. And this creates a big problem. You must do the hard work now, but the visible reward often comes later. This is where dopamine matters. Dopamine is the brain chemical that is involved in motivation and repetition. When something feels rewarding, your brain becomes more likely to repeat it. And that helps to explain why bad habits spread so easily. Junk food becomes good now. Social media feels good now. Shopping feels exciting now. So help your present self a little bit. Add a small reward directly to that routine. After that walk, enjoy the feeling of completion for a moment. After reading 1 page, take a sip of a good coffee and let that become part of your ritual. Your brain needs something pleasant that is close to your action, so then your habit feels worth repeating. And then track your progress every day. When your progress is visible, you become less willing to just throw it away. You see, we human beings, we don't like losing progress. Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky, they became very well known for showing that we have this pain of losing. The pain of losing something is stronger than the pleasure of gaining something of similar value. And you can use that bias to your favor. So mark the habit every day. Put an X to the calendar. Mark a square in your notebook. You can use an app to track your habit. The tool doesn't matter much. What matters is that you can see a progress. If you never track it, every single day looks like a separate battle. And skipping it is much easier. But when you can see a chain of completed days, the decision changes. You're no longer asking only if you're feeling like doing that habit today. You're also asking if you want to break that sequence, that progress that you already built. And that makes the habit easier for you to protect. But keep it small, because if the action is too big, that tracker creates guilt instead of momentum. So remember this. Your brain repeats what feels easy to begin. So stop relying on motivation. Pick one real habit right now. Choose the trigger. Make the first step tiny. Add a small reward and mark your habit, your progression. If you want to have a complete system for building your routines that actually stick, including how to redesign your whole environment, reduce your frictions, stop depending on your willpower, follow us here in Arata Academy and go to the link arata.se/done.